Why don't more alto players play on metal mouthpieces? Let's face it, most metal alto pieces are built for a bright, punchy sound, but not versatility. So in this video, I'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at how I teamed up with Jody Jazz to develop a metal alto mouthpiece versatile enough to make hard rubber players seriously consider switching.
All right, I'm at Jody Jazz headquarters in Savannah, Georgia. Just got in.
This is the 6th mouthpiece design that I've collaborated with Jody Espina on. Last year, we made the Burnin metal tenor mouthpiece, which came out incredible after a lot of hard work. The logical next project was the Burnin metal alto, but there's a problem. By far, most alto players prefer hard rubber mouthpieces.
You know that tenors split at least evenly between guys who like metal and guys who like rubber. But alto is not split evenly at all. It's 70-30 at best.
So I asked Jody, who knows more about mouthpieces than pretty much anybody, why he thinks that is.
First, if you think about some of the most famous tenor mouthpieces, nobody plays the alto mouthpiece of that. And that's because that alto mouthpiece doesn't play good. Number two, metal mouthpieces were traditionally made to screech, to be really bright. And alto players would play them and they go, oh, it sounds terrible. It's like nails on the chalkboard. Number three reason, the size we make metal in is smaller in the mouth. And alto players feel like they're not used to that, so it feels uncomfortable.
So going into this, I didn't want the Burnin metal for alto to be too bright. There's already a lot of great options in that category. I wanted to give alto players who love the Burnin hard rubber piece the same versatility, just in metal. So we got to work.
Because that's, to me, the philosophical question. Where do you want to put that thing in comparison to your hard rubber Burnin?
I want something that I'm going to sound good on. This could be my main mouthpiece forever.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Jody and his team had been working hard leading up to my visit to get some good prototypes for me to play test.
These are the 4 prototypes.
Since we already have the baseline of the hard rubber as a starting point, the job is much easier than if we were starting from scratch.
First step for me is going to be getting point of reference. So I'm going to play on my Burnin hard rubber mouthpiece. All right, I'm going to start with letter J. This one is apparently the darkest. Already that's like... Whoa. There's a whole new thing happening with the resonance. It's a very deep resonance. Wow, I love it.
That first prototype really blew me away. I was thinking to myself, I can't imagine it getting better, but I still had 3 more to test.
Next is I. Man, why don't more alto players play metal? This is... It's hefty, too.
When we designed the Burnin metal tenor mouthpiece, we ended up giving it a fatter body diameter, which really helped with the sound and resonance. The new metal alto design also has that larger diameter body.
Whoa, all right. More focused. J was fat and big and really bold. This, we're focusing that in a little bit more. Love it. Man, these are 2 great mouthpieces. Already between those first 2, it's not going to be easy.
So prototype I was another great playing mouthpiece. It was definitely brighter and slightly more focused than J. In my first playthroughs, I always try to keep my mind open, but first impressions are usually pretty solid for me in this process. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking that J was more along the lines of what we were looking for.
All right, G. Yeah, I like it too. I like it too. Let's move on to H.
Now you can see my lack of enthusiasm pretty clearly with that one. I knew we were getting further away from where I wanted it to be.
This is brighter. We're not covering a lot of ground here. We're going in real small increments.
H was the brightest one of all, and while they were all great, after one playthrough, I knew only the first two would move on to the next round.
Okay, now I'm going back. I've tried all the metal pieces. Now I'm going to go back to the hard rubber. Yeah, man, it's cool. Come in. Yeah.
Jody was in his office next door listening, and now he comes in.
And first of all, these are all, like, this is great mouthpiece, man. I freaking love this mouthpiece.
I know. Let me hear this one and then maybe this one. Okay,
Cool?
yeah. Well, that's the thing that happened to me every time. Came back to the hard rubber. I said, this is a great mouthpiece.
When making a new metal version of a great hard rubber mouthpiece, it's very important to compare back and forth as you go.
It's like a slender, slicker.
The goal is to capture what we love about the original and just enhance it a bit.
Whereas this one had a nice fat spread sound.
That sits really nicely with the hard rubber.
The first one I had to take off because I was enjoying it so much. I was like, well, I better stop. Did you test them like today, or is it?
The latest one today we got was actually J, the darkest one.
Oh, really?
We
Okay.
just got it today, and I like it a lot.
Normally in this process, Jody doesn't tell me which option is his favorite, but every time we've agreed on which prototype design plays the best. He can tell that I'm leaning towards the J prototype, and he also knows when we've come across a clear winner.
Here's Zach.
How are you? Good to see you. You too.
Zach is the engineer in charge of making changes to the designs by programming the CNC machine. He's also an expert in hand finishing mouthpieces, and he's a key part of the whole process.
I didn't hear J yet. Can you do the
Sure.
hard rubber and then J?
Sure.
I'm gonna go over there.
Okay.
I want to hear it farther away. Play this one again.
The metal's louder.
Metal is beefier,
Yeah.
fatter. The metal is badass.
Yeah.
Compared. And I'm always loving this mouthpiece, but then what I just heard, what I would like is that alto players don't be so
Finger.
afraid of metal. And it shouldn't be when they play something like this.
But
High quality sound.
effortless to play like that too.
This is the moment where we all knew which design we were going to move forward with.
Because me, that's the one I'd pick. And that could potentially be even more versatile than the hard rubber.
Yeah, well, maybe this could be a metal mouthpiece that makes more alto players play metal. You know what I mean? That aren't smooth jazz
If
guys,
they didn't,
you know?
if they didn't have a prejudice and they just tried it.
Maybe you can play them for me so I can hear.
Sure. Put this on, hit it hard. Horn's playing great. I feel it's thinner. It has that more hard rubber classic alto thing. This is playing like a great straight ahead mouthpiece. Yeah.
It's not usually that fast to get the final prototype, but this one was just so good, there was no doubt. But the work is not finished. So far, we've been testing only the 7 facing. Tomorrow, we have to finalize facings for the 5 and 6 tip openings. But before we leave the factory, a quick round of virtual golf.
Great hit. Wow. That's a great hit. Roll.
The next morning, I came to the factory and was greeted by a freshly made mouthpiece with our artwork. This is another important part of the process, making sure the logos, lines, and finish are exactly how they need to be. The Burnin metal has a fine sandblasted treatment that will look even better once it's gold-plated. We ended up adjusting the positioning of all the engraved elements you see on this sample. That gets done in the CAD software with Zach. Once the artwork is finalized, we're going to make another final prototype. We start out with our fatter blank made out of solid brass. That goes into this 5-axis CNC machine, and the new program is loaded up. The artwork gets done first. And now the rest of the mouthpiece gets cut and drilled out very slowly to ensure the highest precision possible. As you can see, this is our 6-facing that we approved earlier in the day. The outside of this mouthpiece still needs some hand finishing. And Zach then takes care of hand finishing the interior tip, baffle, and sidewalls. The next step is 24 karat gold plating, which I couldn't film for you, but the final result is gorgeous. The last step in the process is the hand painting. And now we have a finished Burnin metal alto mouthpiece in 3 tip openings, ready for you to try out. There's a lot more that goes into the process of designing and making a great mouthpiece like this a reality. I just showed you the most interesting parts. What I want you to know is that this is the metal alto mouthpiece I've been waiting for my whole life. It plays as easily as my best hard rubber mouthpiece, but offers more power and resonance with no extra effort. It plays at low volume with incredible ease and can handle a ton of air. I still love my Burnin hard rubber, but this one is my new go-to alto mouthpiece for everything. I can play straight ahead, jazz, ballads, pop, funk, big band, anything at all, and feel totally comfortable. This mouthpiece comes with a ligature and cap and is now available worldwide. Just click the link in the description to see the pricing in your region and to order one. I play the 7-tip opening with a 2.5 jazz cut reed, but the 5 and 6 facings are also killer, and you can't go wrong with any of them. I would just increase my reed strength for the smaller tip openings. Alto saxophone players have largely avoided metal mouthpieces in the past, but I think this Burnin metal will help convert a bunch of hard rubber loyalists. It's weird that for tenor saxophone, metal has widely been considered superior to hard rubber. So go watch this video next to find out why that is and if it's even true.